You know, when it comes to strong, fearless women in television drama, we are finally starting to see more and more. But when it comes to comedy, it's hard to imagine any character stronger or more fearless than this one.
It's hard to understand what the name of God you've been talking about here lately in both official languages.
Canada's warrior princess herself, Marg Delahunty, for close to 20 years. On This Hour Has 22 Minutes, Marg and her creator, Mary Walsh, have been ambushing politicians and occasionally coming face-to-face with controversy. Just ask Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, who called 911 after this.
Please, I came all the way from Newfoundland to talk to you, honey.
Some people thought that crossed the line.
Didn't go that good, did it?
You know, that mix of comedy and politics is something nurtured in Mary in her home province of Newfoundland and Labrador. The characters she's created, as diverse as the nation itself.
Boom! Labor Day, and we're all over the Iraq attack thing like Big Mike Duffy on a peanut butter parfait.
Now some of those characters are back in her one-woman show called Dancing with Rage. It's Mary exploring the people who made her famous, where they come from, and how they see the world.
Mary Walsh, everybody!
I didn't know. Hi. Hello. How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
Ms. Walsh,
Ah, Mr. Stroumboulopoulos.
you look lovely.
Thank you. So do you, as usual.
Well, thank you.
I'm trying to bend over as much as you, but it's hard.
That's what
because
she
I
said.
have stockings on.
I'll just block like that.
Okay.
Mary, for somebody getting pneumonia
George.
getting once pneumonia would
Yeah.
be enough.
Yes.
Let's add some more pneumonia.
I know.
And let's break some ribs. What are you doing?
I know, but it was I just stepped off the public transit in Toronto, and a rogue bicyclist, took me out and broke 3 of my ribs, knocked me out, and I sort of suddenly got very sympathetic with Mayor Ford's whole thing on cyclists.
That's what, by the way, that's what you get for ambushing Mayor Ford.
I know.
Public transit and bicycle both contributing to broken ribs.
But then I'm so remarkably stupid in so many ways that as soon as it's over, I go, oh yes, I'm invincible. Like just right out of the hospital and I'm invincible. And then I saw my old friend Paul Bellini the other day, and he said, oh my God, I heard about you again. He said, you've always been so sick. You had the macular degeneration, then you had the back surgery. I was thinking, right, because I'm always thinking, oh no, I'm so strong and invincible. And the next thing you know, I'm in surgery, going under anesthetic, and
Right.
So I'm not dealing with a full deck, obviously.
You're not the
but
only-
I mean, we're all born, and we're astride the grave. We're all going to die. Right. So obviously we can't deal with that every day. So obviously we can't deal with we're not invincible every day, right? So we just go on. It's like I still think if I die.
Right.
I don't go when I die.
It's
I go,
always if.
If I die,
You never know.
what'll happen?
You said macular. Marg Delahunty has that as well, right?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes. But I was thinking, there's a lot of stuff in the show that has to do with my life, of course. But like Marg has macular degeneration. But Marg got knocked up when she was 16 and she went to Expo 67
Right.
with Our Lady of Mercy Choir.
Right.
Now,
By the way, Marg thinks her baby is whom?
Stephen Harper,
Right.
for what? Very dark there. But I was in Our Lady of Mercy Choir, hoping to get to Expo 67, but Sister Mary Catherine, I was only in the choir for 6 days, and each of those 6 days, Sister Mary Catherine would push her wimple back and go, something is terribly wrong in the altos. And she'd go through and I was trying to keep my... Finally, it was me. I knew it was me all the time. So I never did get to... and never got knocked up, actually, and now I'm 60. I'm not probably going to happen to me now.
You don't know that?
I don't know it for sure, but
don't.
I'm feeling pretty sure,
Well, let me play this and see what your thoughts are on this clip now of you and the man that you've already mentioned.
Mayor Ford, it's me, Marg Delahunty. I gave up all the old Princess Warrior stuff.
Can I go to my car, please? Can I go to my car, please?
I came up to give you a hand, honey. Because I gave up the Princess Warrior stuff, but when I saw what was happening to you...
Whoa, can I get my car?
Oh, Mayor Ford. One good thing about being stubborn, though, Mayor Ford, is you always know what you're going to be thinking the next day. God love you. Take care of yourself now. I'll tell you, when I did that, Mayor Ford was so alarming. I was so alarmed, is the only word I can think of, that I didn't know what I was saying. So I just kept repeating, I came up all the way from Newfoundland to see you. And that piece would never have gotten on this hour's 22 minutes.
Right.
The producers would never have put it on because I was such an idiot. I mean, I fell apart completely. And I've been doing it for years, and I'd never fallen apart.
What alarmed you?
Well, he was so alarming. I don't know. You know, when you're next to people, you feel things from them, right?
If you rush a guy's driveway at 8 o'clock in the morning, he might be scared too.
9:15.
9:15.
Yeah.
He might be scared too.
I don't think so. I was a 60-year-old woman with a big camera from CBC. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, here's a man who is intent on shooting himself in the foot, constantly, over and over again. That would never, ever have made it to air if he hadn't called 911. Another thing I'd like to say is later on that very same night, there was another 911 call from that same house. Right. I mean, they have 911 on speed dial. They are constantly alarmed. They're alarmed.
What do you make of the fact then that, like, Rob Ford got a ton of votes.
Yes.
Harper got a ton of votes.
Yes.
The majority. So that these are the cats that Canadians want to represent them.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Well, you know, there's nothing, I mean, you know, I can only have my own opinion, and I can't have anybody else's opinion, can I? I suppose, you know, like somebody pointed out to me, you're against the church, you're against the politicians, you're against the thing. Is there anything you're for? And that did give me pause. I thought, because let's face it, I certainly was not in favor of Paul Martin's cuts in 1995 at all. And I mean, I was kind of outraged that the Liberals came in with this red book, and they didn't keep one thing. They made all these promises. They didn't keep one promise. So we constantly went after them about that, constantly went after them about the cuts and things.
Well, you've been a part of comedy for quite some time. You're not necessarily in this skit, but let's go to 78 Codco, shall we?
Oh, okay.
Let's go to 78 Codco here.
And will Codco continue as, are you going to do, because you've had, how many shows that you've put on?
4 complete shows.
4 complete shows.
No,
from
more
around
like
this
5 or 6.
5 original shows.
10 or 12.
They've had 480 original shows at different times in their life.
5 shows at least.
Yeah.
And what kind of people come into it?
Everything and everyone and anything. Anything
The
can
best.
happen.
Only the best,
Only the best,
people.
yeah.
Oh, my God, that's me.
That's you.
Eek.
That was you, my dear.
Yeah, Peter Zosky never liked us because we never shut up. Because there were 5 or 7 of us, and we would just never shut up, and he was just always pissed off every time he had us in the studio. I know you only have to say good things. I'm not saying a bad thing about him. I'm just saying he didn't like us.
I don't know Peter Zosky. I mean, you knew him.
Oh, yeah, not in the biblical sense, obviously.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that you don't know.
No.
Who was this?
You don't know. No, he's just smoked. He was smoking so much he could never have, you know, relations. I'm just making that up. I don't know any of that sort of stuff. I mean, I lived in Newfoundland. He lived up here.
He lived up here, right? Stick around, more with Mary Walsh after this.
They all have the unhappy, self-enclosed look of people who spend
Open book. Oh, it's my favorite show. Shut up.
I know that's not a profound thing, but it seems to me
We get
that
it.
when
You
do travel
read
lot
a
and spend lot of
book.
time in
Okay. And you like to hear the sound of your own voice. My God.
Mom, Eddie Reardon, everybody.
I love her.
Who's your favorite to be?
Oh, to be? I don't know. We just did a Mom and Eddie with Greg Toomey, who I haven't seen in a long time. We did it at Christmas time. It was so much fun. You know, as you get older, life is full of 1,000 tendernesses. It really is. I mean, it's like, you know, all those people who you know, like I used to think, oh, Toomey's so funny. You know, like I always loved Toomey, but he just was, he overwhelmed me with how funny he was, and I wanted to be funnier than him.
Right.
Whereas this time, I thought, oh, I'm so lucky to be here with Toomey, you know, who's so funny. So it's like getting older is good in that way. I mean, there's all those things that, you know, the no lungs left and all that. That's not so good. But the getting more comfortable
But for a lot of
with
people,
the world.
it's that uncomfortable moment, that anxiety. That's what helps them be funny. So when you become more comfortable and...
I wonder, can you be funny anymore?
Can you be?
Oh, my God, I don't know, George. Well, anyway, I suppose it's over for me, I guess. I'm too comfortable now. Maybe I could get that book show back.
No, I like that, because Mom and Eddie used to go and rip everybody else, and then you gave them an opportunity to rip yourself.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which
So it's not like disappearing up your own arsehole in a way, is it?
If it's yours, right? I want to go back to that clip we played of you and Peter Zosky, so that the Codco people, you, a young lady there on Peter Zosky, you weren't the only guest on the show that night.
No, there was Monty Python was in Newfoundland too. For some reason, I guess the Zosky show must have brought them, and maybe it was Eric Idle, but I'm not sure because Eric Idle has gotten so sensible, and they were just loaded. They could not stand up. It was like they'd been hit by a car. That's how drunk they were. It was like, you know, and it was like they went out on a boat and did some totally unfunny piece of comedy. Then they were like, you know, it was just, I'd never, I mean, let's face it, I know drunk, but I'd never actually, ever actually seen anybody, a couple of guys that gone, right?
You got to see the one-woman show. It's called Dancing with Rage. It goes through March 24th at the Panasonic Theatre in Toronto. Then it goes to the Neptune Studio Theatre in Halifax in May and June. Strombo.com. On our website, we'll post all the days for you. Make sure you go see an absolute gem. Mary Walsh, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.